Good day, everybody. Thank you for those who've shared the World Health Organization video. Cannot thank you enough. I promised you we would dive deeper into that issue. Well, we've done a little bit of research. We're going to work through this stack of paper in the next 14 minutes. So here we go. I told you World Health Organization is endorsing and promoting a sex ed curriculum to Europe and Africa where they want to teach 4-year-olds and under things up and to the point of teaching them masturbation. This is all to desensitize children. I want you to understand how this works. If you can desensitize a child, you can have them have a propensity towards sex earlier and younger. You can manipulate that culture any way you want to. So here we go. Let's look at some of these articles that you'll see on the screen. Right, World Health Organization gets in there. We're going to work through this stack. Now, the interesting thing is in 2016, the United Nations rejected this very curriculum to Europe and Africa. Okay, so that's right here. You can see this. Look at this. The United Nations rejects this curriculum. The interesting thing about it is they come back to it in 2020. 2019, 2020, UNESCO, which is a division of the United Nations, jumps back on the curriculum, and we're going to talk about UNESCO in a minute. But let's go deeper. Let's look more. World Health Organization officially endorses this new curriculum. Now, you have to understand what happens. When the World Health Organization endorses anything to do with healthcare, the world jumps on it. We saw what happened the last time the World Health Organization endorsed something. The whole world shut down. We just went through it, right? Not saying the COVID virus is not a virus, but I'm just saying when the World Health Organization endorses something, nations react. Remember, the United States, largest funder to date of the World Health Organization, and just a little memory jogger, the second largest funder, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Now, let's call out these curriculums real quick. These are the curriculums that I want you to pay attention to: Europe, Africa, and we're going to see that is also the United States. Curriculum such as a curriculum called, and a book called, What Girls Have, What Boys Have, What is Happening to My Body. These are all individual curriculums from books, okay? All these are illustrated. Now we're talking about kindergarten, okay? Pre-K, kindergarten, all the way through 12th grade, but particularly for the young ones, the little ones, right? These books are illustrated. I could throw the images on this screen. I won't, because it's so graphic. It's porn, no question about it. We're talking about full to scale, mind you, male genitals to 4-year-old girls in a book. How everything works, how it happens. We're going to dive into the curriculum here in a little bit. In the USA, we call the curriculum CSE. In Europe, it's called RSE. That's Roger, Sierra, Echo, right? For those of you who understand little military terms. The RSE in Europe is also called All About Me. So for the parents in Europe, you want to look out for the All About Me curriculum, the RSE curriculum. And again, we're going to dive deep into it here. World Health Organization has a division called the International Technical Guidance on Sexuality Education. International Technical Guidance on Sexuality Education is a board, an organization within the WHO that's pushing these elements. And then we'll see in a little bit UNESCO jump back on board, which is the United Nations, of course. Let's talk a little bit about the Christian Institute. All right, the Christian Institute took this issue very seriously. They jumped on it, and of course the Christian Institute, their slogan is, who wants kids under 4 to be taught about masturbation and gender identity? That's the Christian Institute. I want to read something to you and I'm quoting from the Christian Institute's website, and an article they launched. Sexual experiences. The World Health Organization materials state that under 4s, age 4, under 4, should be informed of the right to explore nakedness and the body and ask questions about sexuality. Now, this is how it happens. That statement, you may say, well, Jaco, that's not so bad, right? I want my child to have sex ed in school. Okay, let me explain to you how it works. To move a culture, you have to change language. Language speaks to culture. So we do things in culture such as we take prostitution and we make it sex work. What does that do? It softens the element. It makes it more acceptable because now by saying it's sex work, you can say, well, people should be allowed to work. Why are you frowning on somebody that wants to make a living? What you're not doing is saying, hey, that's not making a living. That's force, fraud, and coercion. That individual is being manipulated, abused. No, but it's sex work. So you soften it. Then when society buys into the softened language, now you can move society. So children should be allowed to explore nakedness. That sounds very innocent, right? But then you dive into the same curriculum, right? As Christian Institute did, as Family Watch International did, right? And you discover that, wait a minute, in the curriculum is teaching masturbation to 4-year-olds. And not just masturbation, as we're going to see in a little bit, but encouraging to explore on one another's bodies. But it's all masked under, well, it's just, you should be allowed to explore nakedness. So Family Watch International jumped on this as well. Right? So Family Watch says the following. They go, hey, Family Watch says the World Health Organization is exposed. They're historically known for promoting abortion, sexual rights, and which curriculum? The CSE curriculum. World Health Organization endorses it. When they endorse something, it takes flight. So here comes UNESCO. Remember now, in 2016, the United Nations said, now, come on, guys. We can't take this RSE, CSE, what do boys have, what do girls have, what's happening to my body curriculums, right? And push it out to children. United Nations said that. Well, turn the circle and apply a little bit of pressure from the World Health Organization and some of the large funders. And what do you have? Here we go, UNESCO, right? UNESCO is the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization within the United Nations. UNESCO jumps on this curriculum push full-fledged, and I quote, UNESCO International Technical Guidance on Sexuality, published in January 2018, so it took them 2 years, this document, posted to the World Health Organization website, and it's laced with references to childhood sexuality, including these statements. Listen, parents, hear me. This is the United Nations with the World Health Organization, okay, doing this. And by the way, you're going to see in a little bit with Planned Parenthood. Why does that name always pop up? No matter where we go, if it's something to do with harming children, abortion, targeting women, Planned Parenthood pops up. Evil runs with evil. Let me tell you that. Listen to this. This is UNESCO. UNESCO statement. Youth, young people, want and need sexuality. And sexual health information is early as comprehensively possible is needed. So they're saying the earlier the better, because children want sexuality. See through a lens of a 4-year-old here. See through a lens of your 5-year-old, your 7-year-old, your 9-year-old. We're not talking about puberty here. Pre-puberty, okay? Kindergarten. Children want sexuality? Really? Really? Or are you pushing that they should want it, as we're going to see in a minute? Children, and I quote, children should have agency in their own sexual practices and relationship. Oh, so a 4-year-old should have agency in their own sexual practices. What does this do? Don't be blind. This creates a wedge. It drives a gap between the parent and the child. To do what? To make the child autonomous, to listen to organizations so the child has a will and the parent loses what? Right? The parent loses agency over the child. Give the child sexual agency. And lastly, comprehensive sex ed. Sounds so good. We're going to do comprehensive sex ed. And I'm going to talk to you, some of you who say, I want my child to get sex ed at school. I'm going to talk to you about it. But now, I quote, comprehensive sex ed can help children form respectful and healthy relationship with sexual partners. And I quote from UNESCO. So this sex ed curriculum was designed to help a 4-year-old form a quote-unquote healthy sexual relationship with a partner. Who's the partner? You would say, well, maybe it's other 4-year-olds. So children abusing children. You're going to learn it's not just 4-year-olds. It's to precondition our children to be open to the idea and the thought to engage sexually with adults. You're going to see in a minute. We're going to keep going. Okay? Again, Family Watch International. We're going to talk about Sharon Slater, does incredible work with Family Watch International. She's a hero for children. She's amazing. I want you to hear this. If you're still not convinced, and I quote, Slater offers additional damning evidence of the World Health Organization. The International Technical Guidance on Sexuality encourages everything from gender and sexual experimentation to abortion, shocking acts of sexual pleasure, and departures from their parents' moral traditional views. This is the play. This is what it's about. It's about moving your child away from your views. I quote further. They also refer 9-year-olds to Planned Parenthood, to the IPPF, the International Planned Parenthood Foundation. They refer 9-year-olds to Planned Parenthood, okay, to learn about sexual rights. So they're saying, UNESCO, World Health Organization is saying, hey, if you're 9 and you want to know about sex, go to Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood endorses all these curriculum, right? The World Health Organization has been promoting dangerous and irresponsible ideologies in the name of sexual health for years. I quote. Okay, let's go further. World Health Organization, right, promoting sex ed to the children. Here we go. This is a bill. I'm just going to hold it up for now. This is a bill that's about to pass in Ireland. We're going to learn a little bit about the UK. What are UK parents saying about this? Take a look at this. UK parents are up in arms. Okay? UK schools to teach 4-year-olds how to masturbate. And I quote, Church Militant. I'm quoting from the Church Militant, right? This is September 24th, 2019. All right? Listen to this quote. Okay? We're going to throw it on the screen here. The curriculum is consistently explicit and shows naked depictions of boys and girls from age 4 to 5. I told you these curriculums are illustrated. I have them. All of them. I can show you, but I won't because I won't give evil more foothold. I want to quote from this article again, and this is the Church Militant, okay? Even though the Education Act, this is Europe, the Education Act in the United Kingdom of 2002 requires schools to teach children the nature of marriage and civil partnership and their importance for family life and bringing up children, 6-year-olds are taught to masturbate or self-stimulate. 4-year-olds are taught to masturbate, self-stimulate, and told it is really very normal, right? Although they're supposed to teach otherwise. I want to insert this. Also, Church Militant. I'm going to show you this picture of parents protesting. You're going to see more later, right? I'm going to quote from Church Militant, London, churchmilitant.com. 4-year-olds in English schools are to have lessons in how we touch our own and each other's bodies under the new Relationship and Sex Education Act, RSE program, which becomes compulsory September 2020. The All About Me Sex Ed curriculum, reception 4 to 5-year-olds, instructs teachers to have children and give children the opportunity to explore a variety of different touch and feel sensations and allow them to shout out in class which body parts they like the most and what sensational experience they like the best. Listen, that's part 1. We got to go to part 2 because now I'm getting into the US. Stay tuned. Watch part 2. Share the video.